Hello and welcome to another update, and congratulations for getting through January. I'm always encouraged when the days are starting to get longer, and we are 1 month closer to the pandemic being under control. Now, we don't know when that will happen, but we are 1 month closer. This week I was in a town hall meeting with faith leaders with Premier Jason Kenney and Chief Medical Officer Dina Hinshaw, and they responded to a number of questions. They are pleased with the infection rates coming down. However, two factors are going to delay the easing of restrictions. One is the new variants that seem to spread more quickly. The other is available space in hospitals and ICUs, which is still concerning. It is interesting to note that many provinces have mandated church closures, which our provincial leaders considered. However, they provided the opportunity for churches to operate at 15% of fire code occupancy. They continue to ask that we limit contact with people who are not in our own household. They recommend that churches provide online alternatives, because even at 15%, a risk still exists. However, we have, as a church, said, let's start to open at that capacity. So on February 7th, we're going to have a service, and that at 15% capacity, about 30 people. That'll provide an option for those who cannot access things online, and will at least have some limited opportunity for people to attend in person, for those who choose to do so. Please join me in praying for our leaders. They know their decisions to protect the health of the most vulnerable also causes a lot of disruption and pain for many people in other ways. And they don't make the decision on restrictions lightly. They are just as weary of the restrictions as you and I are. So they need our prayers, and they need our support. Here's the details for our reopening. Our service will be at 10 a.m. on Sundays. We're not resuming live music quite yet, so worship playlist will be shown at church, and we'll provide a link so people can connect to that at home. And then we'll begin the live stream portion of the service at 10:30 a.m. Those attending in person will, of course, need to wear masks for the duration of the service, and will need to pre-register. So in pre-registering, we're leveraging technology for that registration, which will facilitate last-minute changes if people need to cancel, and will require less office administration than some combination of email and phone registration. The process is quite simple. You can do it from your phone, your tablet, or your computer, and we provided a link for that in the email version of this update. That link will take you to a registration page. You can fill in the number of people and an email at which you wish to receive confirmation. If plans change and you need to cancel, it allows you to do so, and that'll open up a spot for somebody else. For those who don't have access to email or are uncomfortable with the process, we do have a couple of options. You could ask a friend or extended family member who is more comfortable in the digital world to register you. And they can have the confirmation sent to their own email address or to yours if you have one. The confirmation email has a link which provides the opportunity for people to cancel should they need to do so, and that'll open up space for others. If none of those work, another option is to contact me, and I can register you. But then if you need to cancel, you would need to call me. If registration is full, you can check closer to the event as spots may open up if someone cancels. And since space is limited, I suggest that people plan to join maybe on alternative weeks to allow other people to join in person. If registration remains low, or if spots open up closer to the event, you could register then at the last minute. Just a word about the annual meeting. As I mentioned last week, low expenses, solid income, and delay in hiring a second staff person have resulted in a financial surplus for 2020. We hope that restrictions ease and we can invest this surplus in ministries in the coming year. So plan to attend our meeting on March 1st as we discuss the past year and consider what we believe God is calling us to do in the year ahead. Gathering restrictions will affect the format of our annual meeting. If allowed, we will have it in person, or we might have some combination of that and online, but we will provide a way for people to access that digitally. We will provide details of the person closer to the date versus online versus in person on that. So how has God encouraged you? Have you given some thought to that? How has God blessed you, encouraged you, guided you in this unusual year? Please take some time to summarize that, maybe in a sentence or two, and get that to me or to the church office, because I would love to include that in our annual report booklet. You can email the church office or text me or catch me on the phone. If you want to catch me at the building, Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon from 1 to 5 p.m. is still the best time. You want to catch me to just to pop in, say hi, a short visit, of course, with masking and distancing. Or if you need to drop off an offering or use the Interact machine for offerings, you can do that. And also with that, if you're come by and the parking lot is empty, don't assume that there's no one here because I often walk from home, so I might be here even if you think if the parking lot is empty. So a word about our message series, Disruptive Hope. Last week, we covered quite a bit of ground. In Jeremiah, as we looked at the invitation to return, summarized by the two phrases, break up the unplowed ground and look to the ancient paths. This week, we're going to focus on Jeremiah 7, which is known as the Temple Sermon. So you can read the entire chapter. I'm going to be focusing on verses 1 through 15. And if you want to read ahead for coming weeks, on February 7th, the message is going to be Pictures of Hope. We're going to look at the picture of the potter in Jeremiah 18 and the picture of good and bad figs in Jeremiah chapter 24. But in the Temple Sermon that we're looking at this week, Jeremiah warns of something that the people considered impossible. He prophesies that the beautiful temple built by Solomon almost 400 years ago would be destroyed because their worship was found wanting. Through it, we learn about the heart of genuine worship. It's an important topic in this time when churches are facing so many changes and challenges. A key verse in this week's text is, "Has this house which bears my name become a den of robbers to you? But I have been watching, declares the Lord." Now, since Jesus quoted this verse when he cleared the temple, it must be a passage worth exploring. So I hope you can join online this week, and maybe next week we can see you in person or you can join the live stream. Have a great week. Hope to see you on the weekend, at least online. Take care, and God bless.